Everyone, we are back for video number 6. I did have to think about what number we was on, but today I am joined by the one and only Coach Traci Green. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. Super excited for you to, talk about yourself. So we'll just go ahead and jump in. So how did you get involved with the Black Women in Sports Foundation?
Well, it's been many years, right? I mean, growing up with a mother who's one of the co-founders, that's immediately how I jumped into it. So I was about 15 years old or so. I remember going to meetings and hearing about the foundation, volunteering when I was in high school here and there. But I didn't really jump on as a board member until probably about 8 or 9 years after college. But I always volunteered. So I was like a tennis coordinator, things of that nature. So pretty much all my life, I feel like.
And what is your responsibilities as a board member?
Sure, responsibilities. So I'm one of the co-chairs of the nominating committee, and I'm also on the marketing committee. But we're such a small organization, very boutique organization. So if you feel like we do everything, right?
Yeah.
Everybody does everything.
I understand that. So how was it growing up with Professor Tina Sloan-Green as your mother?
It was cool. It was really cool. I mean, she was always my mother in general. So didn't quite feel, that, special. It was really what she did. I think what she did for work was the coolest part about it. She worked at a university, so I was always on the college campus, and she was a coach. So I was always at practice. So, just really that exposure was huge for me growing up. I mean, knowing professors, by name, and them knowing me, all those relationships, right? And knowing the difference between like non-tenure track and tenure track when you're like 10 years old is like weird, right? So that was kind of like my childhood, going to basketball games and stuff like that, after school. A pretty fun life.
Yeah, it sounds fun. So why is the Black Women in Sports Foundation important right now?
That's a great question, Toba. I mean, now more than ever, right? You see Black women and girls in the spotlight. We really need to be supported, right? And you see what we can do. I mean, look at, President-elect, I'm Vice President-elect Kamala Harris right now. When you have that support system around you, people who care about you, who are in your corner, who are mentoring you, the sky's the limit. So the more we can support organizations like this, again, the better.
I love that. So with that saying, what's your favorite memorable quote? Favorite or memorable quote?
Ooh, I got to go back, quote. I got to go back to a legend, John Chaney, famous basketball coach. I use it on my team all the time. Winning is an attitude. It's simple, right? Very simple, but it's so true. Winning is an attitude. And that's just the way, you got to live your life, right? Every day. It's all about a mindset. So whether you're playing sports or just going about your daily life, it's all about having a winning mindset and a winning attitude.
That's right, Coach. So speaking of sports, what is your favorite sports memory or moment?
Oh, another good one. Got these questions today. Yes. I have to go back to it as a youngster, watching the Olympics, watching FloJo. She was so dominant. 1988 Olympics, she just won every single medal back to back. And she had all the outfits on. So I remember being a kid just being amazed, watching her. So definitely watching FloJo just rip through all the competition.
Wow. Yeah, I've definitely heard FloJo as an answer too as well when I asked that question. Who has been a Black woman mentor or coach in your life that you look up to?
Wow, so many, right? It takes a village. I would have to say all the founders, truly, of the foundation. Dr. Alexander, Dr. Nikki Frank, of course, my mom, right? Linda Green Esquire. So they all, I kind of grew up, with them, in my midst, just being a strong mentor for me, strong Black women. And I really knew them as well. They weren't just like near me or I just didn't go to meetings. So they took me places. I mean, my first tennis tournament, my first US Open event, I got to see tennis live and up close. Was Dr. Alexander took me to the US Open in New York. She was working in New York. I'm not sure what job she had, some amazing job. But just being able to be that close to tennis the first time and to see what tennis really was amazing. So again, I can't exchange any of those memories for, ever. They're just amazing childhood.
That is amazing that you got to do that as a child. So last question here. As a tennis coach at Harvard, how do you make time for yourself and your mental health?
So important. Mental health is so important. Making time is so important. And that's the thing, you got to make time. Too many times our schedule sort of dictates, how we move every day, but we can make our own schedule if we really focus on it. So learning how to say no, I think is really important. Also, having routines, I think is important as well. I'm big on, I guess you can say I'm big on meditation and exercise. So I try to do that a little bit every day. Right now, I'm big into walking, so I can do different things, while I'm walking. But those two things help me a lot.
Wow. Well, how is your team doing right now? I know with COVID and everything, how's the season going?
Yes, it's a struggle. It's a struggle. Everybody's handling it differently on our team. They're spread out all over the world. I mean, the world. We have people in Romania, Lithuania, Canada, obviously the States. So it's really about pacing ourselves and controlling what we can control. That's our main goal. If we can do that, we're going to be fine. We're working on our mental game, our physical game. We do have a couple students here on campus, so we do have practice for those who are fortunate enough to be here. But really, it's just taking it day by day, Tolu, and being grateful for what we can do.
Wow. Thank you so much for all the wisdom and insights you just gave us for this episode. I really do appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. Well, everybody who's watching, catch you on the flip side for episode 7. Bye. Be safe.